G'day, guys, and welcome to episode 15. Somehow, I don't even know how it's possible, but we're here, joined by the usual host, the big bearded beast himself, Aaron Scaffy, and our reoccurring guest, a special guest, Christopher the White Man Black. How you doing, mate?
Boys. Thank you very much for having me back on.
I love that you always, when you start, you always say it. So, welcome, guys. Again, you're leaving the girls out. For fuck's sake.
Fucking patriarchy at work again.
Man, you're so sexist. You misogynistic prick.
It's said in a generalized context to approach everyone, all right?
And what about those that don't identify?
Oh, no, not going
Just
there.
no. Just no. That's it.
Fuck.
We're not touching that.
We need the girl power card back up again. Girl power.
We should get a girl on this podcast just for fun, but
Laura, what are you doing?
We'll probably get told off.
Yeah, but who we can get on that won't tell us off?
Well, yeah, that's the problem.
Who we get in that will join in the banter? That's the question.
And not get upset.
Yeah, and understand that it's like literally all joking. Probably nobody.
You
know what, listeners, if you've got someone to suggest, please let us know. We'll take it into consideration for next week's episode.
Yeah, do it. Anyway, back to the start of the chat before I was really interrupted. How are you, Chris?
Oh, beautiful. Obviously, it's a fucking fantastic day outside. Me and Az just finished training some legs down at one gym, which is a nice little de-volume session. It was beautiful.
You guys,
you just join down to Vic, mate. You need to come down here.
We can talk about it now. We're allowed to train.
Yeah, we're allowed to talk about
training.
Yeah, you guys are really selling Vic to me. It's been open for 2 days. Yeah, come down. It's great living. It's fucking fantastic.
No, don't live here.
That's all the horses there, guys.
Don't live here. Come to train and then go home.
Just daily flights down, then go home.
Literally. I mean, Matt is going well. You should be able to afford it. Jesus. Private jet. Hurry up.
Wait, it clicked in my head the other day. I was like, wait, I realized I can go places and work. I don't have to be somewhere.
Wait a minute. I've made it.
Yeah, I was like, hang on. Do I just buy a combi now and move to Byron?
100%.
Well, you can just drive down here then. It's not far.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
it's not far.
73 combi. You're done, mate. It's done 400,000 Ks. It'll do one more K and blow up. It's all good.
That'll be our version of the bro chat catch up. It'll just be a East Coast trip from Brisbane to Melbourne and back. And we'll just stop it at every gym on the way.
3 dudes in a convi.
YouTube series coming up soon.
Interpretate that how you want.
Yeah, that's open-ended, guys. You do what you want with that, and it's completely on to you.
Exactly right. But it would be interesting.
It'd be a fun time. Like that weekend looked fun. Like it's pretty much the culmination and pinnacle of like dudes that train and how they would spend their time. Like if they could. That was it. That was that weekend.
Literally, I think Chris, you're just gonna have to come up with a supplement company and just start sponsoring people, and that way we can
what's
make
a good name? Chaos Sups. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Me and Aaron, we're making a knife gang down at one gym.
We hold the fish markets.
The Chaos Crew.
Fish markets without us.
Well, we do have the fish market, South Melbourne market, like down the road. So yeah, I mean that kind of applies.
Anyone takes a machine.
Tell me something tell me you're from Melbourne without telling me you're from Melbourne. We're gonna start a knife gang.
in a gym.
And shoes? You're also gonna be rocking TNs while you do it.
I need the shoes. 100%. And just stomp some skulls.
Yeah, fucking oath. Bite the curb. Anyway, this episode's kicked off really well.
All right, guys, that's the episode. It's been fun.
And we've been cancelled. See you later.
Zero training talk, zero anything talk. Just talking about stabbing people in knife gangs.
No. Ben's been riled up again this week. So what are we talking about?
I'm never riled up.
Don't lie. You are riled up.
I'm definitely not riled up. I was just asking.
Message me during the week, like, let's talk about this because I've seen people do this. It's like, okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes rolled up.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Off camera rolled up.
Off camera.
Stoic on camera, mate. You won't get a drop of emotion out of me. Fuck this shit. Let the trend rage begin.
Jesus.
That's a good off season right there.
How to know you're doing your off season right, trend rage.
Whose base dose isn't Formula Trend a week? What are you talking about?
I mean, we can get into that conversation if you want.
Moving right along. How's the quick off season, Chrissy? You putting a bit of growth in before we start prep back up again?
Oh yeah, it's been good. I mean, we've put on. I think I finished prep up at about 92 kgs. We finished, I think calories were on around probably 2,700 at the time.
Yep.
A few cardio sessions a week, 10K steps, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And then obviously at the end of prep, pulled food right back up again and feeling good. At about 102 at the moment. I was hitting some shots in the mirror for the missus last night, and as I do every day. And do I looking bigger? Am I looking bigger?
This is your role in the relationship now. Validate me.
Validate me, please. I just get up and hit my quarter turns like every few minutes just to let her know.
She's midway through a TV show and here's you doing quarter turns.
standing in front of the TV. You can't watch the show. I am the show now.
It's me or the show. You pick.
Not even. I am the show now.
Just fucking pulls the plug out of the wall. Look at me. I am the captain now.
What are we sitting about 102 at the moment? So training's been good. Me and Az been doing quite a few sessions together, so it's been good having a bit of an extra push there.
You've also been training together.
We've been training together, yes, on the DL. Now that we can finally talk about things again, but yeah, no, it's been good. We're pretty much ready to start prep again. I think what are we now? 22 weeks out from Vic qualifiers, probably 23 or 24 weeks out from FitFest. So I think that's around about the 3rd of April. So we'll look to really start ramping things up again, probably in the next few weeks. Or when I say that, ramping things down in terms I'll be dieting again and I'll be a sad, sufferable human being.
So nothing out of the ordinary.
So nothing out of the ordinary anyway. I'll also have a little less pop and I'll look a little bit more sad and anxious and angry most of the time.
Little less cheesecake.
A little less cheesecake.
Yeah.
He's still,
a little more trend.
He still said Dean said I can still have the weekly cheesecake in there if I want, but I just feel like I need to start making things a bit harder on myself, So I'm going to make the decision. I'm going to make the conscious decision as an adult to pull my free meal out. So
yes, my life is too easy at the moment, so I'm going to make my life harder just because I can.
I like doing that.
Who wants to coast in prep?
Yeah. Who wants to have an easy prep and easy?
Your place doesn't count if you don't put hashtag under horse suffering in your fucking bio.
When I get to 1,200 calories, then for whatever reason we can talk.
Oh, shut the fuck up! I did 6 weeks at 1,200 calories. My body did not want to get lean.
Oh my god!
It was a look. Many contributing factors as to why that happened, but it was either do that or just don't do it. And just being the kind of guys that we are, I did it obviously, and it was yes, that was suffering. that was the point I would consider suffering.
Oh yeah, I'll start quitting Chris Bumstead.
Yeah. Yep.
Not even if he'd be lucky to be Chris Bumstead. He was on 1,600. He was in a calorie surplus.
I just kept repeating the what's his name? What's the guy who carved it? Big dude. 50%, 5% nutrition. What's his name?
Rich Piana.
Rich Piana. Whatever it takes, right, babe?
We'll take anything and everything.
Take it all to be all.
Funny thing, I actually did his 8-hour arm workout. I've done that before. When I first started training and got into the gym, the dude that used to own the first gym that I ever trained at was a former Mr. New South Wales. And he's like, oh, yeah, he got a bunch of group of us young guys. It was probably like 16 at the time, 17. A bunch of us young guys that are like bodybuilders or wanted to be aspiring bodybuilders around the gym or had a decent rig.
Got us in. Bio yet?
It's not in my bio yet, but it's when I make it.
Yeah, you weren't aspiring hard enough. It wasn't in your bio.
Instagram wasn't even a thing back then. This is like fucking 2012, 2011.
Yeah,
it's fucking years ago. Anyway, he gets us all in, and we're literally do this 8-hour arm workout. It's like you train for 30 minutes, bicep, tricep, supersets back to back, burn yourself out, and then at the end of the hour, eat some food again, go back in, do it again, and we just did this for 8 hours straight. And I honestly could not lift my arms for probably the next 4 days. Did I get any growth? We measured them again. Not a single centimeter. I actually lost size, as you can imagine on my bicep.
Complete atrophy.
I'm surprised that no one tore a bicep.
Does 8-hour bicep get smaller?
Usually what it's like that nerdy meme. That guy who's like, the guy who's like. It's like the meme where he's like, no other guys in school still stays a virgin. You've seen that one? It's like Urkel looking dude with his glasses. Yeah. Does 8-hour bicep workout with all the calories, loser size.
Man, you're not hardcore unless you've done it. So I recommend you. It's something you got to do at least once in your life. Just as a tribute to Rich Piana.
I mean, it makes for a fun video, but fuck, it's dumb.
Oh, it was terrible. It was the stupidest thing I've ever put my body through.
I remember watching his video about it, and I was just sitting there like, "Fuck that!" Sitting in
The
a gym for 8
rationale,
hours.
like, God, I mean, the amount of special supplements that he's running. No wonder
Oh,
he
yeah.
was fucking recovered. The
Man,
next
he was
day.
on 16 IU of growth a day for an entire year. Like, bro.
Oh, man.
That's fucked.
I remember watching his
so
videos,
much.
dude. I was like, "Holy shit!"
You run down to like adipose spots to put that in.
Yeah, he was
Just
just
go
straight
to
in.
here, to here, to here, to here.
He
to
was
here.
literally, he was just literally doing site injections. Fucking.
How's
Oh,
weather in Queensland, Ben? How's life up there?
Hey, weather's shit at the moment. Hey, it's a bit miserable. I finally get some time to myself where I can run my own clock. I'm gonna wake up every morning, get some sun, vitamin D, and also get some sunlight. And then wake up feeling good about myself. No, not having a bar of it. So not a huge fan at the moment.
I mean, you don't need sun to get the D though.
Well, the two aren't mutually exclusive. No, you're right.
Exactly. So you can
But
always
other than that, it's,
supplement.
I think last time we spoke, you were banding the hack. How's the quad development coming along?
Yeah, we flipped it. We flipped it now.
If I think,
And
okay, okay.
yeah, we've
You've
learned
matched
how
the
to
resistance
hack
profile.
squat correctly. Yep. Actually create an optimal lifting area. And yeah, it's been good. It's been good. I went, what's the word? I'm in agonizing pain at the moment. Currently probably 2 days post leg day. What's the word? I didn't slip my form. I would say, as me and Scaffy talked about it, I need to standardize form better. But in the midst of being just hyped up and on caffeine and just loving fucking training and going heavy again, it appears I've just shifted the pelvis a bit and slipped my hip, and it's fucking excruciating. So it's just a byproduct of the back injury I had years ago from my car accident, and just it tweaks every now and then. I forget about it. So it's like a not subtle kick in the dick reminder, like, hey, also pay attention to your form. And it puts me on the floor for like 2 or 3 days. So I
Get up, do it all over again.
yeah, pretty much.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
I did
As long as
4
you're
sets.
ready.
4 sets of the weight, didn't even realize it was a thing, and then I got home and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna suck." And then went to go to the toilet this morning. My back pain was that bad, I just couldn't push the shit out. So I was like, "Cool, well,
Here we are.
turns out I'm just sitting here all day." Then
Just pop some endo and you'll be right.
yeah, but
What about you, Az? How's your physique orientated goals going?
Man, you see, I've dropped like 12, 11 kilos, I think, since
Yeah, you
my
dropped
last
the hammer
growth
big time.
phase.
he's ready
Yeah,
for
the
it,
last,
man.
yeah, pretty much the last 3 weeks. I see an open bodybuilding though. The last 3 4 weeks, I pushed and I dropped like 4 kilos in 4 weeks or something. So it's been good. I'm just, I think Joe said 2-3 weeks now. So I think towards the end of November, and back to growing. So
We're going to be doing the crossover. You're going to be going into surplus and gaining, and I'm going to be going the opposite way, getting
I'm
skinny
just-
and lean.
keen to ramp up some androgens and feel strong again. To be honest, this HRT TRT bullshit is boring me.
Chris is like, I want to keep the food, and Scaffy's like, I want all the drugs.
Pretty much. I mean, I want the
I'm
food
like,
too.
I want both.
Yeah, well,
Why
I
not
want the
have
food
both?
too, but it's like I think I miss the drugs more than I miss the food at the moment. But yeah, no, it's been good. I feel good. Yeah, managing quite well. It's once you get used to it, it's pretty easy. I think a lot of people seem to struggle with dieting. It's kind of like, well, you have that sort of lag period where the first couple of weeks you're like, this sucks, and then you get over it and you're like, oh yeah, I'm used to it. It's good. I'm hungry.
It almost like you get to a new level of suck. It's like when you're in a prep as well, it's like, let's just say you start on 3,000 calories. Eventually it feels like shit. Then that 2,500 calories, your food gets dropped down and down and down.
Yeah.
And that new level of suck just becomes like the new norm. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh man, I couldn't imagine dropping my calories another 500 below this. And then you do it and you're like, oh, well, this sucks. But then it just becomes the new norm.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the moment, doing a protein modified fast, so it's kind of like 5 days is like veggies and protein. There's like literally no carbs.
Yes, I love it.
I do get the option of having some training day carbs if I'm struggling, like 50 grams just around training, whether it be pre or intra, which I'll take advantage of every now and then. But I've been feeling okay. I know that my volume's on maintenance effectively, so as long as I don't get
My programming.
well, yeah, I'm running your program. I'm fucking progressing and dying more, but it's fine. I've never done so much fucking volume in my life. But not even as a powerlifter, we were doing like 5 sets of 10 for no reason.
Just
You
to
know,
clarify
it's just-
for the listeners, I was running a chest and back specialization block in this 8-week period to try and slap on some size prior to starting prep. So Aaron dieting, balls to the wall, very, very hard. And here I am fucking ramping set volume every week.
And here I am just like, yeah, I can do this. I'll do this.
He just does it. He just did it. He didn't complain, nothing. He just did it.
And if you listened to our episode 2 weeks ago, you would know why you probably shouldn't do that.
So, I was just like,
do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. The Scaffy motto. I've come to terms with that.
I've never not said that. I'm like, never do as I don't. I literally posted the meme yesterday. Like when I'm programming for my clients, it's very meticulous. But when I'm programming for myself or, for people very close to me, it's kind of like, the Joker, like, you think I have a plan? I'm like, no. We're just going to throw shit against the wall and see what sticks. We know the basics of programming. We're just going to fucking go with it.
If you haven't slipped your hip at least once, you're not doing it properly.
Hard. I nearly did it last week, actually. I put, my lower back sort of threw out a little bit on one of my hack squat warm-ups, if anything. And then luckily I had treatment the next day. And he's like, yeah, you're a little bit jacked up, and sorted the next couple of days, which was good. Thank fuck.
Talking about your insane protein fasting diet. A young bloke approached me at the gym last night asking for advice about he wanted to go into his first cut or something like that. He's like, oh, how long do you do it? Like, usually do like 8 to 12 weeks. I'm like, I do 4. And I suffer the fuck out of it. He's like, what? I was like, bro. He's like, what did your max bulk calories go to? I was like, 6,000. He's like, what do you cut at? I'm like, 2,000. And he's like, what? I was like, man, right. Get it over and done with. Get back to growing.
I'd be lucky to be on 2,000, I reckon.
Why drag out the inevitable suck when you can just like suffer it, get in and get out? And he's like, oh. I was like, mind you, you're pretty natty and you're probably not in a position where you can handle that degree of calorie deficit. But at the same time, yes, some of us can offset that, and suffer.
That methodology doesn't work overly well for natties for too long.
Yeah. As I said, I'm like, I wouldn't do that for like 8 to 10 to 12 weeks, Brad. He's like, oh, okay.
We're going to see him week after week, and he's just shrinking.
Yeah. Like all
and then you're the Joker.
Yeah.
You fool.
He thought he was going to outsize me. This is my gym, bitch.
I'm the big dog around here.
Walking around calling everyone big dog again.
That's my new thing. Is I walk around calling everyone big dog. I just think it makes people feel nice, So
it's because he doesn't know anybody's name.
I'm terrible with names.
Who calls you big dog?
I'm terrible with names. I either say mate, bro, or big dog because I don't remember anyone's name.
If you get the finger pistols and chief, they definitely don't know who you are.
What's up, champ? But anyway, talk to us, Ben. What do you want to talk about today, my friend?
Well, actually, in line with what Chris was talking about before, discussing doing an absolute retarded 8-hour arm workout, I was seeing a lot of people getting on these like what's the bandwagon, I guess you'll call it, getting like pro coaches to coach them, but those pro coaches are only implementing their degree of programming. So it's like it makes, like, we all understand it, but I guess like if you're a listener who's looking for coaching, or like why you shouldn't buy that $5 ebook, they're getting programs sent to them from a coach who's at such an advanced level of hypertrophy and lifting and required stimulus of volume that they have these very intricate or specific like programs that require a dick load of volume and very specific target muscles and exercise selection. And you're giving that to someone who would probably benefit from a legs push pull core or like a legs push pull legs kind of program and maybe minimal effective volume. So it was definitely something I thought that we could dive into, since we all, Scaffy, I know, gets erect talking about training, so we can jump into that.
That's why me and Chris get along so well, because we both get erections talking about training.
It's got nothing to do with training. They just both get erections around each other.
Yeah, it's just how it is. Androgens are high, bro.
That trend is working. But yeah, I thought that'd be a nice little interesting one to save people some money and actually get effective programming that's probably more suited. It sounds like we're plugging ourselves here, but at the same time, getting correct programming that's suited to the level, or I guess the level of training that you're at, as opposed to what fucking Milos says you should do, and he gives you a program.
Giant sets, baby. Giant
sets. No matter what.
100 are you a Slin? Otherwise,
pure Slin. Like, don't even inject it. Just drink it. Just pure Slin.
Fucking oath.
So yeah, that was a fun one. I thought we could dive into.
Actually, $5. I've seen Kai Green sell them for $1.
$1. Yeah. But you got to remember, he's got like 2 million.
The bargain bucket.
He gets half of them for $1. Like, he's done.
He's good. He's good. He's set for life.
That's the dream.
That vegan phase he went through, where it's like, bruh, you're most of the oils you're using aren't even vegan.
How long did it last, that vegan phase? It was like
5 days.
It was one ebook.
Yeah, it was one ebook and like a month of just marketing it, and all the vegans was like, "Fuck yeah, Kai Green's vegan!" And then he's like,
He's like, "Psych."
"Suckers." It was literally sponsored by a company that made beef protein.
Yeah, Muscle
gonna
Heads.
say,
I remember that Muscle
yeah,
Heads
yeah.
beef protein.
The old Muscle
Yeah,
Head
it was-
beef protein tastes like
Yeah.
shit, but yeah, he ran that for fucking.
I
Like
did
10
it. I
years.
did it for growth. That's what I had to do. Kai Green did it, so I did it too. I also fucked a grapefruit.
I didn't even know Kai Green at that point though.
I don't think Kai wants to know Kai at that point.
Oh, yeah, I did before we dive into that. I have read a few things where there's a very weird underground in the behind the scenes broke bodybuilder scene, like
Oh yeah.
dudes that are like not making money or like doing other things, and they're like in that whole like all or nothing, I'm just bodybuilding, and you're also getting like Instagram DMs about like gay for pay and fucking feet pics and muscle worshipping and shit, and you're like,
Have you had any of those yet? Have you? That's when you know you've made it. If you get one of those messages, someone wants to pay for your underwear, or
yeah,
they want to watch
I've
a
been
flex
getting-
show, or
I don't know, because I've been getting those for years, and I don't think I've made it anywhere near to be that. So I mean, I've had people ask me if I can send them my socks. I'm like, nah. Bro,
again,
I'm
this
good.
is Scaffy making fake accounts messaging himself.
I've got 4 accounts. We don't talk about them.
One's name's Clarissa. Oh, Clarissa wanted me to send her photos of my underwear.
One's named Patricia.
fuck, I forgot what the question was. To be honest,
Chris is too focused on selling the socks.
how can I make a little side hustle out of this? Bodybuilding's expensive, okay?
I mean, it is a well-known expensive sport. So I mean, hey, whatever it takes, right, babe?
Have you seen the price of food these days? Jesus.
Yeah, it is an expensive hobby, eh? Like if we looked at the cost of things,
Man, the
we do,
return is so poor compared to what you put into it.
That's what like when
Oh.
people talk about why not to bodybuild, and they're like, oh, you get body image issues and like self-esteem issues and like
That's
body
just the tip of the
dysmorphia.
iceberg,
That's the
right?
tip, bro.
That's
You get
the
broke.
good stuff.
If you're not
Go
financially
broke,
smart,
$150 a week on food,
Yeah.
and the list goes on and on and on.
coaching, posing, fucking time. If you're not financially set competition, don't just don't.
Just don't even think about it.
don't
Don't
even
even think
enter
about
don't even enter the realm yet. Just keep doing what you're doing and wait. But I mean, yeah, I mean, any earlier and you're getting gay for pay. So
Or that's your
Hey,
second option. If you
pace
want to speed
yourself.
up the process, gay for pay.
that's got nothing to do with bodybuilding. It's just if you
That's how
wanna do it.
Aaron got to where he is right now.
100%.
He only has 5 training clients.
Yeah, fucking oath. I haven't got
The
any
other
clients.
30
What are you
on.
talking about?
Oof.
I train them for free, bro, just to make my Instagram look good. Don't be stupid.
But yeah,
But
so
yes, question.
point was the question: why not to do it? Why it's dumb? So that's more of a question. Yeah, I guess it's a little question. Yeah, why is it dumb? Why you shouldn't do it? Why we avoid doing it, and why we recommend obviously training to the level that you're at and the specificity of your needs, as opposed to taking pro bodybuilders program and trying to replicate that. I see dudes like, you know, they make comments like, "Oh, I see that Big Ramy doesn't squat," or "I see that Phil never did heavy leg presses and shit like that." And you're like, "Yeah, cool. This is a very specific niche part of his career where he's fine tuning very specific like muscle recruitment and trying to stimulate in very specific areas to develop things. He doesn't need to worry about an overall squat in terms of like maybe he just gets better results from doing another exercise selection." And then people are like, yeah, but I don't need a squat because Phil doesn't. And instead of looking at where they are and going, maybe this exercise is good for me and I should probably do it.
Yeah. I mean, if you want me to kick off, I'll kick that one off. So it's funny. I'll take this the other way just to give you another side to this conversation. Anybody can gain or grow, let's say, from any program. It's pretty straightforward. The key to it is adherence, as well as obviously, adding in, your progressive overload and your food and your rest. Let's pretend all that side stuff is taken care of, and we'll just, focus on the program itself. Any program, provided you have everything else in place and you're consistent with it, you'll probably grow. There's a good chance. Now, will you grow to the best of your ability, or will you grow in an optimal fashion? Even though I don't really like the word optimal, probably not. But it's not to say you won't grow, right? Especially if you're a newbie or an intermediate. Advanced is probably a bit of a different story. Taking a program from a genetically elite person, whether that's a bodybuilder or just, an Insta famous person who has some really gifted genetics, again, is in the wording gifted genetics.
Michael Henge's natty.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the duck eggs that he has. It's the duck eggs.
It's like that. It's like that raw liver eater guy, whatever his name is. It's been going around. I don't know if you've seen it. He eats like literally raw food because he tries to eat from like the generations past and eat how they ate. So like there's a photo of him holding like a fucking piece of liver, eating it, and
They
he's
still
like,
had fire.
well, yeah, and he's like, this is how they ate, so this is how I eat, and it's like, this is why I look the way I look, and it's like, nah, it's the steroids that you're taking, but let's not talk about that.
I digress.
It's like blatantly fucking obvious, but anyway, these guys are genetically elite. So if you're genetically elite, there's a chance that you may also grow the body parts or the specific parts that these guys have implemented in their program, and you paid $5 and you might get something out of it. Is that $5 going to be worth what it is that you need? Probably not. So that's like the other side to that argument. Now, obviously, the obvious being you want something that's tailored to you, and blah 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 blah. So I mean, that's just one side of the coin, I guess.
Yeah, because it intrigues me when I see like what's his name, guys like Honey Rembod and stuff, like the pro makers and shit, and they talk about these very super specific, like intricate programs like SST7,
bro. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, whatever the fuck it
ST7.
is, psychoplasmic super fucking stimulus training or something, whatever it is trying to do. Overload some super psychoplasma. Okay, bro. And you get these weird like compound sets with like extra volume in there and these half reps combined with like a drop set and all this cool shit. And you've got an elite genetic client or trainer that's being put through those paces. They're already at like the pinnacle of their training. Their stimulus load is already like at a point where they've been training for years and years and years. The body's adjusted to it. But then you get them still say that program should be applied to anyone. And then you get clients that are like, yeah, cool. I'm being coached by Honey or like Fahim or whatever his name is. Like you get these pro coach online superstar makers, and it's just that they've managed to weasel through and get the super elite genetics that people respond like are hyper responders, and make these cool looking programs. And then you get Gen Pop guys like, yep, I'm going to do this because this is what Honey said. And I'm coached by Honey now. It's like, you're also probably just coached by his secretary, his assistant, or like a fucking spreadsheet that he's just printed off and sent to you, but whatever. And they just, you're paying large, exorbitant amounts of money to be coached by a name and assume that that's going to work for you. And it just, I mean, like you said, it'll work.
Well, that's it. It's not to say that it won't
for
work,
you?
right?
Is it what you need? Is it how you should be coached, or is it should be how you program for? Is he taking into account all other variables of your lifestyles, or just simply you got this program printed out and sent to you?
Yeah, it definitely runs on like an individual, like a spectrum, right? Like I immediately think of Lyle McDonald's generic bulking routine. I don't know why that just immediately popped into my mind, but like if you're a beginner and you have a program just based on sound principles, you'll make a shit ton of progress, 2 times a week frequency, hitting a decent amount of set volume per muscle group and not overdoing it and just focusing on raw progressive overload. You'll make a ton of progress. But these programs like the Kai Green ebooks and all that sort of stuff, they throw everything at the kitchen sink and hope something sticks. Like literally just run this person into the ground. How much volume can they take? And just kind of go from there. Like an individual's training needs will change the more that they progress through a training career. Whether that becomes more, individually body part specific as they progress, because obviously some people can have body parts that respond super, super well. So they may run one of these programs and they may get fantastic results, but they wonder why they get to a point in their training career why this program stopped working. And it's because obviously, their muscle groups are going to be, they're going to respond differently as they, progress through a training career. So, it's not going to be this one program is going to work for you through this entire program. So they get to this point and they're like, oh, what do I do now? They don't know what to do. So they just either stop training or continue running that same programming and spinning their wheels for so long. So they get to a point in their training career where they need to start getting more individually specific, but they don't know how to. And that's where, they need to actually start learning more about their own programming and why, individual specificity at that point becomes super important. You can just throw anyone on a program for the first few years of their training career and they're going to make some good progress. But to take that person from that beginner to intermediate into advanced stage, they're going to have largely different, I suppose, volume landmarks within different individual body parts as they progress through their training career, which is why, people need to contact good coaches like us.
I think I know a podcast that has a few of them on there. I don't know.
Wait, you're talking about the Bros podcast, or you're talking about our one?
No, not us.
Who the fuck
The
are
other
we?
guys. Yeah, the other one. The
What's
other one.
hypertrophy?
Yeah, bad.
I'd say hypertrophy. And yeah, so that's pretty much, I think, what people struggle with the most is they wonder why shit stops working and then they don't know how to fix it. And that's why these programs are so poor, because generally they run people into the ground that much with too much volume that they end up getting injured anyway, or they just burn out mentally because it's too much training volume. There's no management of fatigue. What the fuck's a deload? We don't deload.
Like Green doesn't deload. Why should I?
Deload or deload?
It's a Spanish
Is that
word.
shit
Don't be
Spanish?
silly. Yeah.
And yeah, I think mainly they're so shit for those reasons. It's not that they're not going to work per se. Anything will work provided that you apply adequate effort to it and you're putting stimulus, recovery, all those variables are in place. You're going to make fantastic progress, but eventually that shit's going to stop working. So what got you to intermediate level is not going to get you to advanced. Unfortunately, it's just not. You're going to have weaknesses in your physique. If you're not, even if you're a competitor, even if you're just a normal person that wants to bring up certain body parts, you're gonna be better off, making a program surrounding what your weaknesses are versus just, I'm just going to run this bro split Monday chest, Tuesday back, Wednesday legs, and just run that shit into the ground, because eventually that shit's going to stop working. It just is.
Yeah. And also take into account, like you see people like, oh, like you can find Rami's workout and you can do it. It's like, yeah, but can you do his drugs?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the missing link that they don't realize. It's
there's a lot of other stuff that goes on, besides the training program. It's kind of like, cool, you got the training program. Now, how about the rest of it? And an example, again, in the powerlifting world, which is fucking great, is the Smolov program. It is a program for squats. It goes for 4 weeks and you squat 4 times a week. You do like 3 sets of 10, no, 5 sets of 10, 3 sets of 10, 10 sets of 3, and there's something else. There's another one in there. It's 4 days a week, right? It's a fucking bitch.
Why?
Because they're Russian and they're all on drugs. Now, I didn't know
Russian
this
to an injury.
Yeah, you idiot. I didn't know this being, 20 years old, wanting to improve my squat. Now, again, don't get me wrong. I added like 40 kilos to my squat in 4 weeks. But after that first 4 week, like after the testing, I couldn't walk for another.
Did you break? How far
I couldn't
did it
walk
make
for
it till
another.
you
I
broke?
couldn't walk. I did the whole program. I just couldn't walk for another 4 weeks. Between nerve fatigue, fucking actual distal and peripheral fatigue, like I was fucked. I couldn't do anything. I'm like, nah. I couldn't form sentences. Like I was drooling. I'm like, oh, fuck this. Like I may as well be brain dead.
So nothing changed for Scaffy.
That's the difference between us here. Scaffy's running like a fucking squat program when he was that age. I was running a fucking 8-hour arm workout.
Pretty much. Like literally, man. That's what it was. It was just like, that's why these programs, like, the cool, and you can say that you've done them and you've got all these awesome guys behind you and all this sort of shit, but it's like, man, if it's not specific to you and what you can handle, you're going to get found out pretty quick.
But then the cool part too is it's very similar to in psych when they studied hereditary issues and stuff around twins. Like they would get identical twins and study them in the family, and like adoption twins and stuff like that. They would find twins that have been separated and still see how they work together and stuff like that. Like, do they parallel each other in their mannerisms or their traits and their personalities? You can have 2 people hit the exact same program and they can be at the same starting points. They can be at the same starting like baseline weight and sort of starting strength, or just new to gym, whatever, be at the same training level, like intermediate. You put them through the same program and then you're going to start to get points at which they start to diverge and start to set, like, they'll start to realize that their legs recover better than the other guy and his chest recovers better than that guy. And so you're going to start to see deviation from the plan. So you can't, like you said, you can't just stick to that one program for them both, because they're then going to start getting stronger and weaker body parts that need to be tailored for and like adjusted towards, because, well, they're just different people. That's where genetics and shit comes into play. Their life factors like stress, epigenetics, how they sleep, what their food's like, which one's more consistent. So like just printing out program 1 for person A and B and just letting it go, that's just fucking shitty coaching. And like, yeah, cool. It's cheap. You might spend $200 over 6 months working with this person because they're only giving you like a $10 a week program or something, but you're going to then come to us and spend like real money and get real changes because, well, it's just a shit program. And
really is. You get what you pay for. If you are paying a pile of shit, if you're going to pay $10 and that's all that's worth to you, that's all you're going to get. Like, you're not going to get the same level of detail and the same level of growth over the long term than if you actually invested in with a good coach for like a year at least. You know?
I was going to say, in saying that, there are those coaches that do release their own programs for people like 8-week, more probably in the powerlifting world and strength world versus maybe bodybuilding. But
I've seen a couple, like Matt Ogus has got like Ogus Daily, which is not terrible because it's still somewhat like periodized, you know, so that the foundational principles are still there.
Yeah, they sell their, but the thing is, they sell their program and they sell them for like $150 versus $5, and you're still getting some generic crap. Like you might just get a little bit more detail. It might just be like, hey, maybe deload at this point if you feel like this, or you can do this and this and this and play with this, and it's kind of like cool. Like it's not as bad, but it's still not ideal because you're not getting feedback, you know, weekly, fortnightly, or even monthly. Like, you know, if you buy one of these programs, like go for it, but then, you know, consult with the coach maybe once a month and be like, hey,
if they offer
like,
that.
You know,
usually they won't even offer that. It'll be like,
well, I mean,
goodbye.
half the time, to be honest with you, half the time you could probably like DM them or message them, email them, whatever it is, and they'll probably say yes, because it's very rare people say no to money, like because they're going to charge you for the consult. So it's like, well, you know, you have an hour or 30 minutes or whatever it is, you chat with them about the program. It's like, I've bought this program from you. I'm doing this, this, and this. Like, what do you think? And, you know, the good coaches will respond and help. The shit ones obviously won't. And they're like usually the insta famous coaches where their programs are just generic and they probably got it from somewhere else anyway.
Yeah. Someone behind the scenes made 10 different templates and a funnel networking market system for them to follow through. Click 3 links and answer us 10 questions about your height, weight, age, and training history. Cool. Here's this program.
Yeah, fair.
That can give people the illusion to think that program's then individually specific to them. Like sometimes people just have that low barrier of an understanding that they just do not even realize that, you know, what level, I suppose, the detail is between different types of coaches. Like,
man, I was telling Scaff, maybe I was telling Dalton, I was getting kickback from clients being like, you get a weekly phone call, book it in. Like you're paying for that. Like I need to talk to you to make sure we know what's happening to your body and how things are responding. If you don't like the food, if you're not liking training, if you're injured too soon, or you're feeling like tired or worked up, or if it's more like mental fatigue, I need to know these things so I can look over your check-in sheet and talk to you weekly and get like a more verbal communication about it. And they're just like, wait, what? Yeah, you're paying a premium price for a premium service. I'd rather 10 to 20 very good clients that are willing to pay a little bit extra, but get hands-on work and client-centric, client-focused like programming and coaching than 5,000 clients that I just print off shit for, and I'm known for being a shit guy, prints off crap. So I'm like, cool. Yeah. You get a phone call. You get like, talk to me weekly. Let's work on this, because especially in the early parts, you're going to like have a lot of questions, a lot of stuff you want to go over. Come to the fucking check-in with questions, with things that you want to talk about, things that you've noticed or you've seen someone else talk about and you want to dive into. I'm probably the guy to do it with because it's what you're paying for. And they're like,
yeah,
that's what coaching is.
I love clients that are prepared, that they've got a list of questions. They've actually, you can see that they've tried to do something and they've at least tried to work it out. And then they come to you and you obviously get the answer. But there's nothing better than a client that's prepared with shit like that. I fucking love that.
Yeah, because like you get like an hour to just dive into like half hour to an hour, whatever it is you charge. Like, come like if you've nailed everything, and you know whatever it is, like if you've nailed everything, we can go over like, cool, this week you've nailed everything. You've progressively overloaded, increased intensity, food's on point, weight's doing what we want, strength's doing what we want. You now get half hour just to like further expand like your knowledge, like milk it. Like if you have questions or if you have something you thought about, like don't wait till the day and be like, fuck, I wonder what you talk about. Like write it down or send me a message and go, hey, let's talk about this on what's your day. Like I added to my feedback form was like, what do you want to talk about this week? So it's like, at least to a degree, I can look at it, read it and go, oh, okay, cool. You want to know about this? Here's all the information I have.
So wait, are you doing video calls with every single client that you have every week?
Video call or phone call, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to change very fast when you get very, very busy. I mean, it's
I do monthly. I offer a monthly.
Yeah, exactly. I offer them a
still weekly check-ins, but monthly.
Yeah.
So your weekly check-ins like a video feed, like a
Loom video.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's just that, but that's the best part. Like, you know, when you get a client and they just hit everything, it's just like my Loom videos are the best when it comes to those, because they're like 2 minutes. It's like running through everything. It's kind of like, so like I say with all clients, you had a good week, so just do it again. and there's a check. Yeah, and there's a check-in and stop. Like, but that's the best part. It's kind of like you don't have to change anything. You know, your client's done the job and you've done your job. It sucks because a lot of the time you'll feel like you haven't done anything, but it's kind of like, well, you've done it from the start and you've just set the standard. It's like, it's perfect.
Yeah, I've got a client now running in 4 weeks and literally nailed everything. We got to the check-in. I'm just like, bring questions because like you're hitting everything's spot on. Like
we have nothing to talk about.
We can slightly improve some sleep and we can slightly do this. Weight's going down, training volume went down. Like I stripped back their training load to minimum effective volume. Body fat went down, weight went down, strength went up, food stayed the same. So I'm like, cool. That's literally it. That's it. Now we repeat this consistently. So when it comes to phone calls, you just repeat this method and then ask questions. And then, yeah, it ended up being one of the questions, like one of the chats was just more about working away on site from his house for a couple of days. So he knew he was going to go out for eating. So I went through like the different methods of like calorie banking and just saving food for the day because he wants to be obviously leaner. So that whole like just eat it and enjoy it. Like you don't need to track the food. Like it's just have it. Like fuck, bro. Save some calories, have protein during the day, enjoy your dinner. You still get calories in, but you're going to be in a deficit. Cool. Not that hard. I'm not inciting eating disorders. And so he's like, we're going to go back there. But yeah, it's like, that's what we use the time of the phone call for. So like we get to scaffold and build off his knowledge so that each week he's learning more things because he's just ticking the boxes. Like, cool. Nailed it.
Yeah. That's fair, man. It's
similar calorie bank. Eating disorder dish. Shut up and eat some protein shakes and then just have the meal.
My favorite was I heard was choosing strawberries or watermelon to optimize food volume and satiety as opposed to like nutrient diversity is a form of eating disorder. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Shut the fuck up. Tell me you've never been aggressively lean without telling me.
Yeah, it's like reading this post has made me fucking given me an eating disorder.
Yeah. Made me want to punch myself in the dick. Where's a hammer? I'll do it myself. But yeah, I mean that's the point of what we're paying for, right? Is you're getting like we're paying for. That's what you're paying for as a client is that you wouldn't go to a cheap mechanic if you've got a Ferrari and go, hey, you know what? You're offering $20 to service my Ferrari. I'm going to do that. You're going to go, why the fuck is this guy paying $20 to service my Ferrari? That's pretty cheap. There's probably going to be something like shit about it. You're going to go to like a mechanic who's renowned or well-known that has a decent like history of servicing that type of car. And you're going to pay a decent premium for it because you know you're going to get quality out of it. That's us. Like, that's what you're like. Why would you treat a car better than you treat your own body? So spending that little extra money, but also understanding that with that extra money, you're actually getting something that's to you. Like you're shortchanging yourself by just going to these like Instagram programs or Instagram coaches or bro coaches that are just like, yep, here's this template I did 6 years ago that I haven't updated as the research has progressed. And you're going to do the same shit that I did, that I'm doing now as you're literally a baseline trainer. Like you don't need to do 30 sets of chest or 40 sets of chest in a week and fucking 10 sets of bench press. But yeah, if you spend cheap, you're probably going to get that in a program somewhere.
Guess what? Guess who they're going to come to after that? Realize that program is fucking shit and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then we're going to spend all this time unfucking shit.
Yeah. Well,
it's like, it was like that, that analogy. I think we've mentioned on the podcast before, but it's the tradie analogy. I think it's a plumber and, walks into a house, a lady calls a plumber, has a leaking tap. Plumber looks around, does about 30 minutes of inspecting, grabs a hammer, taps on the tap basically, and it's fixed. And the lady charges $1,500. And the lady's like, why? You only tapped it with a hammer. He's like, yeah, but you're paying for the 10 years of experience it took me to work out that it only needed that. It's the same thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like you might pay a bit more than, $5, but at the same time, you're paying for the experience that we've all put in and, all the education we've got behind us and the education is still going to come and we're going to keep learning and you're going to reap those benefits.
And you get the joy of having an easier experience as well, because I'm fucking fed up with this idea that suffering and struggling is the epitome of a program. Like, by all means, in training intensity and nutrition knowledge stuff is great, and to a degree, like your training will suffer because, like, if you're actually working closer to failure, by all means, it's going to be hard. But this whole notion that I'm suffering, therefore I'm making the most growth. If you can come to us, do less work, save time, get better results than like a program that's got you doing like 50 working sets in a session, I mean, fuck, which one are you going to pick? Like, you're literally saving time that you can put into other parts of your life, not feeling exhausted and dead, that you can train harder the next day, and you're getting results because you're getting knowledge backed by evidence and experience, as opposed to, I need money, here's a shit program I'm going to put out and sell for $10.
Yeah, just because your perception of this program feels like it's hard. I can make anyone do 50 sets of quads. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be as effective. I can
You
stay
are.
with you. I can stay with you for like 12 good sets. Make those sets hard as fuck.
Yeah.
And you actually get good quality volume, like a relative close proximity to failure. You're going to get way better results than 50 shitty sets where you're probably like 10 reps away from failure.
Yeah.
You know, just because it's a lot of work doesn't mean that it's just a ton of junk volume. It's just all shit.
Yeah.
That's what all these programs are just fucking junk volume. If you're doing 5 sets of something and then another 5 sets of another thing, or 5 sets of another thing that all train the same biomechanical action, why are you doing that?
I did 10 sets of drop set
machine
flies.
shoulder press. Cool. Smith shoulder press. Cool. 10 sets of laterals. Cool. Another 10 set of laterals from a slightly different angle. Like, it's just fucking stupid. Like, it is the most stupid thing you'll ever see. But
you were just watching Scaffy's Instagram.
The population of people that we're talking to don't know.
It was even more funny because we were sitting there at the gym and they've got a TV on and we're watching Kai Green do these.
Oh yeah, it's like a clavicular.
He's holding dumbbells. Yeah,
arm
he's
press.
doing like these Arnie presses, but he's like trying to squeeze his chest like in front of him. And it's kind of like, yes, because axial loading, you know, really does well for, you know, working your chest in, you know, this plane of movement. Like it doesn't do shit because there's no tension. You fucking
Science.
Yeah, it's just like that's what a lot of steroids and, you know, vegan protein that's got beef in it does for you. Anyway.
Oh, fuck me. But yeah, it wasn't so much a way of plugging us as the go-to coaches. It was more so an explanation of saving yourself. Like, I guess you get the choice. You're going to trade off time. You're going to trade off money. At the end of the day, you're probably going to trade off time because you're going to waste 6 months doing something that, depending on your level of training, you may get some results out of, but that 6 months you could have spent getting better time and better value for your money and getting better experience in the gym and knowledge that could then explode and exponentially grow you down the track. Like, I wish I had people talking to me like this when I started and could actually focus on what I was supposed to do properly, as opposed to just spending 2 hours in the gym doing 30 different working sets and whatever else I was doing. You know, and that's the benefit of what you're getting from us, is that you get that idea that I can save time. I can spend a little bit extra money, but I'm going to save time. I'm going to learn. I'm going to get experience. I'm going to develop and grow what I need to grow. It's going to be tailored to me. And I didn't just see it on Instagram because Pro Bodybuilder X did it.
Yeah. It's like when people
So many
put up
times I'll
workout
start a
of the days.
program. So many times I'll like write a program for a client and they'll be like, oh, I can do more than this. This is easy. I'm like, well, okay, you're not applying adequate effort for starters. You're not getting more volume until I know for a fact you're applying adequate effort to these actual sets, because you come from doing 5 sets of something and I give you 2, I guarantee your proximity to failure is fucking terrible on a lot of those movements. So we're really going to I like to strip things back and start from a new baseline and slowly build someone's work capacity back up from there. Just because they're usually so much undercooking their effort and they don't even realize it. Like, they think that they're training harder, but they're just not.
Effective reps and effective volume makes a huge difference. Like, I've done the exact same thing. Literally all my clients, stripped them back, like hearing what they've done and what they've done before. One of my clients was saying she was doing PBs every session on SBD. And I was like, you're going into a gym every week and being told like you should fucking 1 rep max every session. I was like, how are you alive? How is your body not just like crumbled? I was like, mind you, like not saying she was under eating or anything, but to a degree probably was. But like the training intensity was there, I guess, like great. But at the same time, like, you have fucking fried yourself, all because someone didn't know how to tell you to pull back and actually program effectively. You have literally zero need to hit 1 rep maxes every week in SBD. Absolutely no need. But yeah, that's a degree of what she was told to do. And I'm like, let's, like, simple math here. If you work out that training program, if I get you to do 10 sets at 200 and there's a very, I don't know why I went to these numbers because she wasn't doing that. And you've got 1 set that you peaked up to at 300. Guess who's getting more volume out and who's going to accumulate greater hypertrophy and muscle stimulus? You. Because, my program, because you're getting more greater volume at still a decent range of failure, but not to the point where you're just completely fucking yourself for 1 set every week.
Yeah, that's fair.
Strip it back. It's very simple. I don't know why it's a weird pushback, but like people being told like, we can get you better results by doing less work and you have spare time. What? I don't want that. What do you mean? No, I can do way more.
The other thing to consider though, when we look at the sort of volume, intensity or effort debate, is the difference between natural and enhanced as well. So, you know, like I know my demographic and probably Chris's demographic is we have a few enhanced clients. So getting away with this higher effort, minimal set type setup works nicely in a growth phase because of also the extra, you know, assistance they have, I guess, to say, because they're enhanced. However, with the natural client, not to say that they can't be or get those sort of gains as well in terms of, not those sort of gains, but still being able to get gains using that, methodology. But it may be that they may need a little bit more volume purely because they don't have that extra backing. And it's kind of like, if you get 80 out of 100%, if you get like 80 or 90% of, your effective reps, and adding another set gets you an extra 3%, like maybe take the extra set for a natural. Whereas for an enhanced, out of 100%, you might get 85 or 90% already from just those 2 sets.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, we may need to give that just a little bit more volume, not so much junk volume, because junk volume would be like another 4 sets. It's just, useless. But maybe that 1 to 2 extra sets, on certain exercises at certain phases may work nicely just to accrue that little bit of extra stimulus, because they don't have the, but that enhancement that also, upregulates a whole stack of other processes, like metabolic processes that, especially in recruitment and that sort of stuff, like muscle recruitment, fiber recruitment, and that sort of thing.
So what you're saying is 10 mil a week of tests, baseline, and
basically everyone just get on steroids. Just fucking do it. That's what I'm saying. Just fucking make all our lives easy. Get on steroids.
As usual, we have to make the proclaimer that we're not encouraging that. At least
for educational purposes and entertainment purposes only.
Yeah,
we are not medical doctors.
The entertainment for us would be seeing you do it. So
please send in videos now. Hashtag Rose Brains.
Boys, pause right here. I've got to piss. I'm serious. Pause right. I'm busting to piss.
Fucking this dick.
All right. So I know for a fact I was reluctant to ask about 20 minutes ago because I knew for a fact that you're going to leave the part where I say I need to piss in the podcast anyway. So I was like, just don't ask. Just don't get through it.
It's like, do we edit it out, or do we just simply, we should have done? We should have just kept talking and just let you go.
I assumed that was going to happen. That's also like a fear I had. I was like,
you paused it. I was like, oh fuck, we shouldn't have paused it. But anyway.
Just hear me talking to myself in the bathroom.
we were just commenting. Boy? We're just commenting on the size of your TV in your background. We're like, dude, what the hell's going on here?
Oh man, it's so unnecessary.
Dude, is that your bedroom? I want to know how close your bed is to that thing.
It's too close. It's too close. I went to get a TV that was like, what's the word? Compact and fit, but the price of the TVs, and I had a mate.
And they get you, don't they? Like,
no.
You can upgrade your fries for an
volume is better. This is the equivalent of more volume is better.
You can upgrade your fries for an extra $1.
Yeah. I can enhance the time it takes me to need glasses for cheaper. So why not? No, a mate worked there, and I was like, look, this is a TV I'm after. What do you think? He's like, we don't have that in stock, but this one is bigger, cheaper, and of better quality because it's on sale. And I was like, okay. So I save money, get a bigger TV, and it's insured with warranty.
Yeah, so it's like when you're buying a large chips and chips are on sale, and it's just like, you can get the bigger ones for cheaper price. Like I shouldn't, but I will.
I'm watching my calories and I'm watching them go into my mouth.
Pretty much.
It's not a place of privilege. I'm not bragging about having a big TV. It saved me money. Shop smart, people. Fucking white privilege.
Well,
anyway,
yes,
that was our dive into I guess discussing stupid shit on Instagram around coaching.
Effective reps, effective volume, all the good stuff.
Yeah, all the fun stuff that we could probably talk another 3 hours on. Point of the story is, by all means, if you want to do it, go do it. But the likely scenario is you're going to do it and you're going to come back to us anyway. So look it up first, research it maybe, see what the program's like, then give one of us a call or a message and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing. What do you think? Oh, jump on my consult call. Save yourself 6 months and another $100 and actually see what I would do and how you could program, see if it's better. And then you probably sign up with us anyway and get faster results.
Well, yeah, pretty much. But don't sign up with me because I'm full.
I am also full.
So sign up. So basically, this is a plug for Ben. Sign up with
Thanks,
Ben.
guys. So my price has just increased by supply and demand. $300 a week.
Ben is taking on clients now.
I own a certain gym and I charge $500 to $600 an hour for a session.
Yeah.
Each their own.
Very, very true. So do we move into questions now or what?
Yeah. So apparently the big man has got his hands on I do have a game.
I do have a couple of questions also, which we can run through if you'd like. But
Okay, yeah, we can go to some.
yes. So what we'll do is we'll
Listeners
get
took
into
the
a
time.
couple of questions first. Yes. I mean, there was a couple of questions. I only put it up this morning. So, we'll work with it. I've got to open up my question box now and find out where it is. So, do we want a funny one or like a serious one? How are we feeling?
One funny, one serious.
One funny, one serious. All right. So we have
the new guys placing the rules already. Jeez.
Oh, mate, I like it. I like it when he's like that. He's
So
like,
assertive. I like it.
If I come in and I said, Aaron, you're running my program.
pretty much I'm like, yes, Dad.
and Captain Mel.
All right. So this is a fuck, marry, kill. Funny
I
because
love that this has become a staple.
it's also great because this person has already been mentioned. Henny Rambod, Dennis James, or Milos.
Oh fuck.
Whoa.
Um,
Now, look, as much as we may make fun of Hani, there's no denying whatever formula he does have, he has some formula that makes champions. Like he gets people in good condition, whether or not his methods are good or not. At the end of the day,
is it him or just their predisposition to being good?
Well, I mean, look at Derek Lunsford, for example. He took him from zero to hero, pretty much.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah,
at, I mean, when he first started working with Phil Heath, Jay Cutler. I mean, he's got a lot. Jeremy Buendia. I mean, all these guys. Like, he may not be.
You've selected a hyper elite successful list of people he's got, and
But they're all Mr. Olympia. Like at the end of the day,
and they're all genetically fucking gifted.
But there's a lot of genetically gifted guys. Like there is.
True.
But
Yeah.
he's for whatever reason his formula is, he's nailing it. He's able to nail it. Look what he did with Derek last year.
Yeah.
Took him from not being able to nail it to fucking nailed it this last year. So I'm gonna marry him because he might be able to turn me into something. I don't know what wacky protocol he's got, but I'll give it a whirl just afterwards.
So basically, Chris is going to die.
So either way, it's me dying in this. So fuck
Mid-set
Mary kills,
injections?
me getting killed.
Yeah. We've now changed the working parameters of this question.
I don't like Dennis James, so I'm killing Dennis James.
But why don't you like Dennis James?
I'm not sure. I just something about him.
There's zero reason for this opinion.
I don't like him. It's because he's bald. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really not sure. I'm not sure what it is about him. He's just doesn't do it for me. Yeah.
No, fair enough. So you're fucking Milos.
So I'm fucking Milos. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
As long at least you get his insulin protocols.
Yeah, that's what I need.
Well, I thought you'd want to marry him for his insulin protocols. Insulin supply.
I can fuck him and steal that. That's it.
On the way out, go to the fridge and thank you.
I get the protocol, take it back to Hani. Honey,
Honey, this is what he does.
Hardy Chupin's another one. So
yeah, we're not questioning his results. We'll just
maybe it's his supplements.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not sure what the
Evo protein. It's effective.
It's all the FST7 training that they do. There's no supplements going on. There's no behind the scenes supplements.
No, they're all natural. They're all natural.
What is it? 7 partials here, 7 partials here, 7 full range. Aaron, what are you going to do if on this next block I write in an FST7 protocol?
Please
I'm going to count. I'm going to
do it.
You're going to ask me the program and you're like, what the fuck is this?
I'm going to counter that with muscle rounds. So
just make sure you got the Zoom on record when he does it so we can all see what happens.
Yeah.
I will counter that with muscle rounds. So let's do this. Who are you going to fuck, marry, kill, Ben, out of those 3?
Yeah, I've met Dennis twice, and I can say it was very underwhelming both times. There was a degree of arrogance there.
I'm a good judge of character. See,
yeah, he what's the word? He came out with Ramy once, and he came out with Ronnie once, I think. And yeah, like he was still in good shape at the time too. Like Dennis still looked like Dennis, and I was like,
he still looks like Dennis now.
Well, yeah, it turns out he's Dennis, so he looks like Dennis.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, it was in like the whole premise of I think it was like Laverne coming back and like all these old timers coming back. So it was like, sweet man, like you're still in sick Nick. Like, are you gonna do masks or something? He's like, oh, don't talk to me about bodybuilding, about competing. I was like, oh, okay, well, you're an ex-pro bodybuilder, so
what else is to talk about?
That limits our conversations.
There is nothing else interesting about you.
And I'm done.
How about that weather? What
do you come here
flight you must have had.
Right, so you're killing Dennis then?
Yeah, getting rid of Dennis. Yeah, I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna marry Milos, and I'm gonna kill Honey.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm doing it.
Yeah, well, I mean, based on these stories of Dennis, I'm probably going to kill Dennis now. I was probably going to marry Dennis just because, you know,
Don't slum.
kind of, yeah. I mean, just, you know, why not? But I mean, he's big and he's black.
That one German sentence he learned. That one German sentence he learned for Generation Iron.
Generation. Yeah.
He's trying to tell Dennis how to do a lat spread. Don't slum. Okay. Say something else.
Yeah, I mean, that's I guess the positive. Like, at least he could teach you how to pose really well.
Yeah.
You know, so I was kind of like, you know, going down that route. But, you know, you've convinced me to kill Dennis. So I'm probably going to marry Milos because I love insulin. So
I knew that was coming.
So I'm begging.
That Milos can teach you how to pose.
Well, I mean, they're not even more.
Wait, he worked Regan. He worked Regan well.
Regan?
2 weeks, man. 2 weeks.
Who's the other guy?
Samson.
Not who's the classic dude? Logan Franklin.
Logan Franklin, yeah.
Yeah.
And what he did with Regan in 2 weeks, I don't know what the protocol was, but fucking he bottomed out his food. I know that.
Did you see Regan's going now? He's already qualified and now he's going back to. He's competing in Prague.
Why
It's
not?
going to be him. It's going to be him.
Money.
Well, no, Nathan Diasha's competing.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So we got Nathan Diasha and I think Nathan, Samson, and Regan.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Nathan Diasha can make it back into the US with all this fucking criminal shit.
I'd love to see him on stage against those guys and just see where he's at.
It's a shame, really.
He looked good at that show. He's got a very tight waist. I like his waist. Like
he's got such a long torso.
It looks blocky, but at the same time it's tight. Like I don't know how he's pulled. I don't know how like what is like I don't know his genetics, but at the same time like they work for him. He's got nice dense front lat spread, but weird tight waist blocky
because he's got this such long torso.
Yeah.
Once he pulls that front lat, you just see the bottom insertions just like fucking come right out.
Yeah,
it just looks huge. It looks mad.
But anyway. It'd be good to see him against Regan because I just think Regan's structure is fucking immaculate. Like I love his lines. Like it's actually classical art in an open category.
Well, yeah, and it's effectively Hunter is where Regan needs to be.
Yes, yeah.
If you're going to go with that sort of classical lines.
He needs his own division. He needs another one. The Regan division. In between classic, in between open.
How can we reward you, but also you're not going to win open?
The 250 weight class. Or the under 250s. All right, one serious one. Do we want an estrogen question or a thyroid question?
Ooh.
I'll give you the choice.
Thyroid question. Is it a thyroid excuse?
No, just the question. The actual question simply was thyroid function and how to improve weight loss success.
Is the thyroid under functioning? Is it over functioning? Is it just thyroid function?
I'm going to assume it's under functioning because it's if it's in relation to weight loss, then that sounds to me like that they've gone through periods of weight loss before. So they think that the thyroid may be the issue. So I would say the biggest thing, stop going through prolonged periods of weight loss where you're trying to fucking destroy yourself and go into these, binge restrict relationships with food, like we were talking about before, bottoming your calories out. Like if you actually spent a decent amount of time in a surplus or at maintenance, that would probably be the best way, honestly. It's outside of supplementation to get T4 back into balance.
So my question then would be on the back of that, because I imagine people hopefully listening would think the same thing. What if they're already overweight?
Well, I still think that there's validity to sticking at maintenance for an extended period of time, because like even a lot of these overweight people sometimes, like even if they find themselves in a position where their calories are bottomed out and they're going back, they're like binging on the weekends or whatever, let's say 5 low days and 2 high days. Often they can find themselves that those weekends, they really do fuck themselves over. So like if they are that overweight, like I don't really know how, like outside of, actually having a blood test to kind of confirm, I don't really know how much really you can really do to improve thyroid function outside of just not going through prolonged periods of dieting for ages and maybe not go too aggressive with the deficit to begin with. Just start slow. And often, usually, if they're overweight already, like they're probably not tracking accurately for starters, and they're not tracking every single day. They're not tracking nibbles and bites, and usually they're eating more than what they think they are. So they're blaming the thyroid for a function that's actually not the thyroid's problem. You're not that metabolically downregulated if you're still overweight and you haven't been dieting for a long enough period of time.
Yeah, the thing I think I would also throw in on that is stress, how much stress actually affects thyroid function. So making sure that, putting yourself in a period where you can be basically less stressed would be ideal. Now we have all, different forms of stress, which we've spoken about a billion times on this podcast, but especially if it's things like work related, life related and all that sort of stuff. There will be times where stress, you can't help it. You're just going to be stressed. And these, what we call acute bouts of stress. It's chronic stress that really affects and can downregulate thyroid function. So that's what we need to sort of remove. So, or really manage better. And then you'll probably find that with that, like that cyclical effect of everything else happening, where we start to lose weight, we feel better, we look better, and we just continue around this cycle.
Legit, yeah, that's a massive one in terms of just like so many people. Like I've had several clients now who will start, and their life interventions are literally minuscule in relation to actually like training programs and stuff like that. Just getting people to get used to like stress management and reduction, rest days off work where they're not doing anything work or stress related or elevating, having periods to themselves and family so they can actually take the time to relax everything, hit that parasympathetic state and rest properly. And obviously then start addressing factors that they've been ignoring, like work-related issues, bills and stuff like that, getting things set up. All of that then starts to correlate with the fact that they feel good. They're a bit more active because they have spare time. So they're going for more walks, or they're being a slightly bit more active because they don't feel exhausted and run down. And then weight loss shifts with them because they're also then inclined to want to start managing health factors like somewhat of a nutritious diet, higher in plants and protein. And that is generally going to relate to consuming less calories if they're obviously sticking to that. But that in of itself gets everything to a better position, and they start to shift weight anyway just from that. That's before you even start intervening in like diet protocols and stuff like that.
Exactly right.
You really need to set the landscape for success. If they're not in a position to diet and stress is high, just hold them off. They may want to do that, but they're just not really in a position to do that.
Yeah, they're not ready to do it. Yeah, you're not wrong. Okay, one more question. This is going to lead into our next little game that we shall play, the first segment the first time this segment is going to appear on this podcast, but the person who recommended the game also asked the question. So I'm going to throw that question out for you guys. The difference between creatine monohydrate and micronized creatine.
Ben's a sup store, man. Let's let him take this.
No, I'm not. Fucking put this on me. Fuck sup stores. I've got nothing to do with them anymore.
Well, funnily enough, I'm pretty sure they're both the same thing. So yeah, micronized protein, creatine even, is literally just another fancy word for creatine monohydrate.
It is.
Let me guess, is it more expensive?
No, I'm pretty sure creatine monohydrate also says it is micronized. So
yeah.
Monohydrate being the way that it's processed is the reason why it's micronized.
Side note, creatine did just have a global increase in pricing. That and whey protein.
Yes. It did. Yes.
So you will find that creatine, regardless of its brand name its formulation name, is going to be increasing slightly in cost. It's still dirt cheap, but it is slightly more expensive. But yeah, creatine monohydrates are micronized. So it's the exact same thing.
Yes. So I'm glad we got on top of that question. Now, for the listeners and for Chris, because this should be fun. Well, and Ben, because he doesn't know what's going on. One of the listeners, it's got
nothing to do with the game, question, life in general.
Yes, well, that too. Actually sent us something which was pretty cool because, listeners interacting with us, which is quite fun. And we encourage it highly, especially slide into Ben's DMs and annoy him more because that would be fun. Sent us a card game, and it's called The Shame of Life. So for those that are listening, I am showing the card game on the YouTube video.
He's showing a picture on an audio podcast.
We have a YouTube channel. This goes to YouTube.
We don't market that ever.
No, but apparently our listeners are like going up exponentially. So that's cool. Yeah, I don't know who wants to watch our ugly mugs on TV, but that's cool. So
who's watching more? Is it YouTube or is it Spotify? So for example.
Oh no, yeah, Spotify by far. But we have to keep the YouTubers happy too. Like we're globally expanding. We have listeners all over the world. This is pretty cool. I think we have one in India, so we've made it.
That's the only one.
Wait, that's someone in
there's only one, but that's fine.
Buy my book. I was like,
well, there you go. It's probably the same person that listens to the podcast.
Hey man, appreciate it.
Hey man, what's up? Hopefully you watch the YouTube and giving you a thumbs up. So
again gestures on an audio podcast.
We should push more listeners to the YouTube channel. This should be cool. We can do dumb shit on here. But anyway, so basically this card game, I am definitely not going to play this the way the card game goes because I'm not going to lie, I haven't actually read the card game. It's just got some really funny things on here like dilemma. So basically the statements or questions made, and it's either dilemma, discuss, well, we're going to discuss all of them, debate, and we're going to go through them. So let's have some fun, shall we?
Triggering as fuck and we can flip tables.
Okay, so
rips
The
down his
TV off
so
the wall. Rip that TV off the wall.
you're gonna laugh because the first question I have literally pulled out. It's a debate topic, and this
Oh,
is
no.
perfect for this podcast. The most inappropriate movie to remake as a porno.
Oh.
I'm gonna go with like something like A Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
I was going to say The Lion King.
But they're actually dressed in animal costumes.
Wait, there probably would be a video out there.
They have that. I'm sure
That's got
that
to exist.
I'm
surely.
sure that that's there. I'm not going to search it, but I'm sure it's there.
I was going to say, what's eating Gilbert Grape?
Well, I mean that's probably the perfect remake.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's see what else we got in here. So these are more debates. We don't want debate. Let's do a discuss, shall we? Oh, okay, here we go. Fuck, I thought these were going to be PG rated. They're definitely not. Discovery: a prehistoric dildo has been unearthed by archaeologists. What do you think the cave people called it? I have Chewbacca playing in my head.
That's it. That's all I've got. Just a low-level grunt.
They don't even call
It's a.
Yeah, they don't call it. It's just a look that they give.
The head nod.
And yeah, and with that look, you know what's coming.
Well, back in those days, it was just bang on the old head, take whichever one you like, right?
It doesn't feel as good banging on the head as it does feel going in, so we're going to start using it for going in.
Mate, I actually didn't realize how interesting this game is because I've just found one and I don't know if I actually want to like say it because it's
Pussy.
fairly well. Okay, fair enough, guys.
Fuck.
This is because Ben told me to.
Okay.
Come blood when you sneeze, or sneeze blood when you come.
This is definitely not PG.
Oh, so this is just my Wednesdays.
I am definitely sneezing blood when I come. 100%.
Yeah, I'm with you on that
What
one.
was the other? What was the other one?
Come blood when you sneeze.
What about it?
Would you rather
is that
come
normal?
blood?
Isn't that normal?
Come-
Doesn't everyone do that?
Would you rather come blood when you sneeze, or sneeze blood when you come?
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sneezing
exactly.
blood when I come, for sure. For
I
sure.
mean, I'm
But
just
you can do
thinking
like
of-
you can just do this. You can do this if you're.
Yeah, like, there's a few other ways you can go.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of both times that's happened to me and which one I preferred.
Wait, isn't that normal? Doesn't that happen to everyone?
I mean, it was one time.
I thought it was just wasn't
Drug-
that just
drug
a
load
natural
is-
effect of Anadrol?
drug load was too high.
I thought that was just what happens when you take Anadrol.
So you got one or what? We're waiting for your
Yeah,
answer. Ben.
it's the you get blood sneeze like it. You can cover that. But
Yeah.
imagine.
Oh
imagine-
God! Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Just missionary right on top of missionary, and you just fucking sneeze it. It's just everywhere.
Oh.
And if we don't get cancelled after this episode, well, I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, I mean, fuck, if you listen to this and not enjoying it, it's on you.
All right, I got one for you. This is a little less grotesque. Well, I mean, maybe beat up 6-year-olds or 60-year-olds.
I'm going with the 60-year-olds because they've lived a nice life.
Well, you're not killing them.
Oh right, okay.
It
No,
just
I,
says
thought this was a battle to the death.
It just says
Sorry.
beat up. Chris has gone completely one way.
I was beating to the death. That's it.
Chris is fucked up.
These old motherfuckers are getting
These old
stomped out.
motherfuckers are getting
Chris-
stomped
Chris-
out in my knife.
Chris has got
gang.
some dark
Yeah, his
demons
knife
going.
gang got something for support.
He's got some demons he needs to get out.
Aaron's rocking up a part of the knife gang for backup.
When I rock up and see this guy beating old people, I'm like, I'm out. I'm walking off.
Have fun, champ.
Pretty much. I'm bashing kids, so that's fine by me.
Yeah, that's yeah. I'm
60
enjoying
of them coming at you would still be a lot because those little fuckers can kick hard.
that. Straight shin and dick kicks.
Yeah, because they're at the perfect level to just punch you in the dick. That's why you're pissing blood or coming blood.
yeah, I'm beating some kids.
Yeah, fuck off.
I'm going the 60-year-olds. I'm going 60.
Yeah, I'm bashing kids. So, all right, here we go. This is a bit more, I think, tame. A disturbing character to make into a sexy cosplay.
Just sexy Beetlejuice.
Voldemort.
Yeah.
I just like his nose. You know,
There's no nose.
his face.
Make that sexy as fuck.
Oh man, it
was
was
gonna
so
go-
weird for him. He was so handsome when he was younger too. When he's Tom Riddle,
It's a weird infatuation with Tom
He
Riddle.
just turns
He's
into
so
this
pretty.
beast.
He
They've been
just looks so
character.
good. If
Trying to
I
think,
was
be like-
Hermione and he was younger, hoo-wee.
I mean, you could
Jimmy
go
would
with
be
someone.
getting it.
You could go with like Jason Voorhees or like Freddy Krueger.
I mean, chicks still find a way to try and make anything sexual.
yeah, that-
and, like put angel wings on a tree and they'll still think that's sexy.
I mean, yeah, whatever works, right? If that's
So we're going
gets the job
Voldemort
done.
because I want to dress up as Voldemort.
Yeah, it's got another new question. This is what Chris did last week.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. Actually, this
Or
will be a fun one.
Dumbledore.
What breed of dog would each of us be?
Oh.
I'm going with a husky.
For yourself?
Is that just
Yeah,
because
cute.
you're hairy?
Cute and dumb.
You got one part of that right.
Yeah, dumb. Hairy and dumb. Done.
I'm probably a golden retriever. I feel.
Yeah, I can see that.
People have told me that before. So
You
remind me of a
What a
golden
compliment.
yeah, I couldn't tell if it was a compliment or they're just usually smiling and they look dumb as fuck. So I was like, oh well, I'll
Did they
take
just
that.
call
They're
me a
usually pretty
dog?
attractive.
Yeah, pretty much.
But also, it's a pretty dog, so it's on the Rolly ads. I'm gonna have to go. I don't know. I just because I don't know. It's all we've ever had, but American Staffy,
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say for you, American Staffy,
just short,
but I wasn't sure
Somewhat
if
thick.
you would like
short,
it.
short and
yeah,
stubby.
short and stubby, and just like easy to aggression, but also fun. I want to punch you all, but also, hey, how you going?
I'm trying to find a funny one.
These are good. This game's fucking gold.
We'll go one more because I can't use all the cards, right? Oh, that's a funny one, but we need a female one for that.
Chris, what up?
The most challenging song to perform a striptease to.
Oh,
Gangnam Style.
I'm gonna go with the Australian anthem.
Oh yeah. That's true. Star Spangled Banner.
I feel like
I
you can
feel
make
like
that
there's some
sexy.
American chick that's done
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna
Has
say
to.
you can make that
It's
sexy.
definitely got to be.
I was gonna say
Oh.
something like an old Slim Dusty song, like "There's a lonesome away from your kindred and all, a campfire at night where the wild dingoes call."
Country Road, yeah, Country Road.
Oh yeah, John Denver.
yeah,
Country
bit of
Road.
John Denver.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're getting off the John Denver and Country Road, but
Yeah.
you could find a way. I mean, someone would find a way.
Yeah, no, totally fair. Well, I reckon. I mean, we've got a ton of cards here. I mean, I can keep going if you want. What do you reckon?
Yeah, let's throw another one in there.
We got one more.
Give us a spicy one. Something with a little bit of spice.
Bit of a conversational topic.
Ooh, okay. We better not get into that one.
That's the one we want.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, bring that back.
No, that's one we definitely don't want.
Man, what the fuck's on these?
A rabbi, an Asian, and
Just trying to find. Do we want to discuss or a dilemma or a debate?
I mean, they all kind
They
of
all sound
equal
the same to
thing.
me, really.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. This is a good one. This is a discuss. An unusual crush you had as a kid.
Ooh.
An unusual crush you had as a kid. Oh,
Man, this is gonna sound weird, but
That's the point.
that's the
it's
point.
not-
That's literally the question.
like it's weird to say now because I would still have a crush on her, right? But I'm a lot older, but I was younger at the time when she was around that age. So I used to love Emma Watson.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
my
who
God.
did it? That's
I think
not
we've already
weird.
talked about this.
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
it's
that's not
weird. It's
weird.
me watching it again now. It's weird because she's a child in the movie. But
So wait, are you still saying when you watch the movie you still have a crush? Or, do you have a crush
Yes,
on,
because-
or do you
No,
have
I
the crush
still
on
have a
her
crush on her.
now as she is?
no,
now?
I still have a crush on her then because it takes me back. It's the nostalgia.
That's
But
That's creepy.
but you've had that. You know, you had
That's on
that
the
when you
creepy
were
list.
like 12. I had that when I was like 12. It's something I've held. my whole
Yeah,
life.
Yeah.
yeah, but
When
I
I
don't
first-
watch. I don't watch Harry Potter now and be like, oh, I have a crush on Emma Watson. I look at Emma Watson now on a party or at a party or an
that
interview
movie-
or something.
That's not a
Yeah,
crush on her.
and then I'm like, okay,
That
I still have a
movie,
crush on
that
Emma
movie
Watson
she
now.
was in, and it was like a meme for ages where she's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
her tongue's
yeah.
out, she's looking
Yeah.
blind. Oh,
Yeah.
stop it.
Yes, like, but that's when she's over 18, so it's okay.
Yeah, yeah. So don't stop it. Good girl.
You see what I mean?
But yeah, I would agree that'd be a normal one for me. Like Goblet of Fire, circa Goblet of Fire, Hermione.
Yeah. Victor
Stop
Crumb.
it.
Victor Crumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
are
I'm
you
trying-
enjoying
yeah.
Victor Crumb or Hermione here?
When she got in the Goblet of Fire, when her
Yeah.
and Victor Crumb had a thing, and
Yes.
Ron did not like that one.
Not a bar of it.
Not a bar of that.
And then his old best friend's trying to bang his sister. Come on, mate.
Yeah.
Stop with that.
Well, he ends up marrying her. So
Yeah. Little snake
And
in
he
the
does
bush,
bang her
maybe.
because they do
Snake.
have kids. So
That's
I
fair.
mean, hey, got to keep it in the family, bro.
Aaron.
A weird one.
I'm trying to think of a weird one now. I think Emma.
That's
Watson's
what-
not that bad.
Nah, that's kind of I think normal for most.
It's kind of normal.
you know,
Yeah.
most people, guys, girls, cats, dogs. I'm pretty sure they all liked Emma Watson back then.
You gotta. See, I used to be. Oh, it's mostly weird now because she's a crackhead, but I used to be obsessed with the chick from fuck, what's that Ryan? Oh god damn it, Van Wilder. What's her name? The chick-
Tara Reid.
Tara
Oh,
Reid,
yeah.
yeah, Tara Reid and Van Wilder. Now she's like a meth head or something. So
Yeah, but that, again,
No
that's not
dice.
weird. She's hot in Van
I know, right? Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think of a weird one.
See, a weird one would be like The Nanny, or like
Oh, that voice.
You know what I mean?
Don't get
Or
started.
like-
you know
like-
I don't love
or-
that voice, bro. You know, I'm
or
still
you know,
killing it on
like
the
yeah,
last one we had.
like Janice from Friends, or like I'm trying to think of fucking weird ones.
The
Now.
thing is, I'm just not attracted to weird ones. So it's like I
No, but
don't
think
know. I
about
don't have any
yeah,
weird
just try-
crushes.
Yeah, just trying to think as a kid, like who was like what was a weird crush?
Well, you haven't answered yet. What do you got?
No, because I don't know if I have one yet. Maybe Grace from Will and Grace when I was younger. Yeah, the show.
I'd have
Gay
been
guy.
more weirded out if you said Will. Actually, no, it's you, so I would have expected Will.
Yeah, no, Jack.
Hey,
Just
2021. 2021, each of their own.
Charlie Sheen.
No,
Before the
actually,
Coke, which was still
Rose.
has never been before the Coke.
Rose from Two and a Half Men, even though she was batshit
Yeah,
crazy.
see,
she
there
was
you go.
So, she was
Yeah,
hot.
yeah, there you go.
She was hot.
strange because she's crazy, but
Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
But you know for a fact that you're getting a phone call every minute for the rest of your life from her. But at the same time, it was like she was hot.
worth it.
I'll cop that.
Yeah.
All right, since we
16-year-old
didn't really
me.
get a, since we didn't get
So,
one
Aaron,
yet,
you don't have one.
really.
Yeah.
Well,
Aaron's gonna have something. It's still being boring.
I'm just trying to think. It was weird. I mean, it's, in fairness, I wasn't really allowed to watch TV that much when I was younger, to be honest. Yeah, I haven't got like a weird one. Probably Grace for me. I used to think she was like really hot.
Oh, you know who actually? Leela from Futurama.
Oh, there you go.
Yes. Yeah.
You with the one eye?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man, she was good. She was
Yeah, there you
quality.
go. I'm trying to think of actual cartoons. I mean, you could go like Dragon Ball Z and go like Bulma or something like that.
Oh,
or
yeah.
Chi-Chi.
We've already established that, and I already picked
We
Bulma.
established that.
We've already done that
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, so I mean that's probably about as weird as it gets, right? Oh, here we go.
Yeah, good old hentai.
This- last one, and this is going to be fucking hilarious, I reckon. An irresponsible class to teach at a preschool.
Sex ed?
Now, we all literally went sex ed, right?
That's inappropriate.
This is how the birds and the bees work.
No better time
Well, hey,
to learn than the present.
no.
Oh, man.
It's 2021. Teaching sexuality in preschool is allowed. It's encouraged.
yeah, but still, it's not to say that it's not inappropriate or weird.
Oh no, I know. I'm just making it very well aware that's a thing that happens nowadays.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know what's even more funny? I've actually never been given the talk, and to this day, I still ask my old man to give me the talk.
you want to hear my talk? I can't remember who I told this to. Me and Dad are driving me to work. I'm like 16, and he just looked over. He goes, "Ben." I was like, "Yes, Dad." He's like, "Has the big dog been eaten?"
Imagine the
I was
comps
like-
turning over. He's like thinking, how am I going to bring this up?
Yeah,
How am I
I'm
going to
like,
bring this up?
Has the big dog been
I'm like,
eating?
"Do
Fucking
I have a
hell.
dog? Like, when the fuck did we get a dog? We've got a dog, but you feed it. I was like, fucking what? I was like,
That's even more wrong.
yeah, I was like, oh, I see what this is. I was like, for fuck's sake, Dad. I was like, how not to present this conversation 101 here. I was like, well done. I mean, could you have made this any more textbook awkward and cringe? Probably not.
Yeah, I mean,
Of course, I said no because I'm a celibate and I'm born again. So
yeah, right.
I save my testosterone for training.
Just likes to give himself blue balls for the extra test kit. It's his version of pre-workout.
Oh, a breeze went by. Oh shit.
He's taking up no fap.
No fat November.
Yeah, literally. So have you seen the meme for like, if it's No Nut November, girls should have no fingering February? Or fingerless February, whatever it's called.
Yeah, we're definitely done.
We're cancelled.
Yeah, we're definitely done on this episode. Jesus.
Anyway, guys, thanks for listening. We are done.
It's been a great 15 weeks, guys. We pushed the boundaries. We got far as we could.
Mate, if we don't get cancelled after this one, I have no idea what we could get away with a lot more then.
Hey, look, we're just bringing the people they want, which is laughter and fun and education.
Yeah,
I've actually had several people tell us that the reason, like, it's a good mix of like educational information, but also just taking the piss, so it's not like hard to listen to. I'm like, cool, that's good feedback. That's good to know.
Yeah, well, I wonder if people like listen to it or they just skip to the end to listen to it. It's like, all right, so for the next 20 to half an hour, they're probably going to be serious. Let's skip ahead. Yep. Q&A starts here. Let's start.
We should put that point in the on the, you know, when you go to YouTube videos, you can like, all right, click here to ahead to this point. Timestamp. Yeah. Here's where it gets funny. And then here's where you learn. Cool. Skip to this point.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm done with questions. I'm not doing any more because we're going to save these for the next few weeks and probably the next few months because there's a few of them.
Yeah, good. Fair.
Sound good?
Sound good to
so,
me.
Thanks to the listener for actually recommending that game. Hopefully that wasn't too atrocious for you.
That was cool. More podcasts need that. More podcasts need to listen to their audience.
Yes. Well, she sent it. I bought it straight away. We
obviously didn't listen because they said don't bring Chris back when we brought him back. So we obviously let that down. That was a mistake.
Oh, yeah.
So gotcha, bitch.
What guests should we have on? And people put up all these different names. It's like, and we just brought Chris back. Because... Sorry to disappoint, guys.
Yeah. Yep. Dropping huge names like Alan Aragon and shit. And they're just like, yeah, get these guys on. We're just like,
oh, hey, man, it'd be wild if you get Alan on. Doesn't he love a fucking drink?
Oh. I'm pretty sure he's sober now, but sure.
Oh god,
pretty sure he's been sober for the last 2 years or something.
Part of the invite is just sending him a bottle of scotch.
Tip him back over the edge again.
Just smell it.
As a psychology student, I'm not encouraging this behavior. I do want my degree at the end.
Can you imagine registration? You get to the final part to register, and they're like, "Well, this episode of Rose and Brave,
we heard you on a podcast." That's a big fat no.
Yeah, you're a danger to society.
We're actually going to put you into a clinic and take your license away from you.
Pretty much. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there because that's way too much, and we're just going to get cancelled if we keep going. Yeah, so let's take that away. We've already had one warning. Let's not get too many more.
But yes, thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for jumping on, Chrissy. Appreciate it, mate.
My pleasure, boys. Absolute fun as always.
And as always, thanks to the listeners. Hear from you soon. As always, if you want to let us know what you want us to talk about, talk shit, get hit, just send it to our DMs, mostly Ben's, and just flood his DMs, please, because it's always fun.
If you need knife gangs, just reach out to the guys in Melbourne because it's apparently a common thing. So
yeah, you know, Chris will sort you out with a t-shirt.
That's a t-shirt. That's an exclusive membership rite of passage. You have to get shanked one in the rib.
Pretty much. You have to prove that. You have to prove you have the scar, otherwise you don't get a t-shirt.
All right, I'm done.
All right, we're out. Catch you later, guys.
See you guys.
See you guys.